Hi, hello, and welcome to Weekly Shonen Jump, issue 39. I'll be reading through, discussing, and reviewing every single chapter in the magazine. We Kuriko now. Scored a drop, boys. I scored a drop. I still don't like the guy with the pacifier. Yeah, this dude's cringe. He he's got a pacifier, and his reasoning was like silly, as far as I remember. Dude, I'm surprised that Anuraj got there so early. I mean, it starts in 45 minutes, so he's gonna have to sit there for 45 minutes in those seats, and then he's gonna be in that seat for 5 hours. But I did tell him there's two matches that he could go and go get something to eat and use the restroom during. Nah, he did, just not a lot. I talked to him at. He came in here when I started streaming at 10. So that was 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 o'clock for him. And when I messaged him at 1 o'clock my time, which was probably like 6 o'clock, he didn't answer back. I think he slept till like 8 and then got up and went on a run. So he slept like probably 5 hours. That's what I did. Wait, hold on. Okay, so gold to platinum, the higher you rank, the highest rank is black. I see. He'll have fun though. It's gonna be fun. I mean, I had fun with people cheering with, 13,000 people. I can only imagine 80,000 people cheering and chanting the same thing. Talent is hypnotism? What in the world? Dude, he brought back golf. I'm happy. So he's slowly been bringing sports into his series. Wow, was that an exploding golf ball? That's kind of based, actually. This was alright. Nothing bad, nothing like super spectacular either. So that was alright. I mean, it does nothing wrong. It's just, like I mentioned here, I think the villains are kind of boring. One of them, I mean, they even ask, is this guy even alive? Like, he's moving, hence he's alive. Like, all he says is, "Buh," and he clearly looks like a zombie. It's kind of boring. So he's brought soccer and he's brought golf. I hope the next villain plays another sport. I don't even care if it's like lacrosse. Like, keep adding assassin sport based villains. That'll be fun. Yeah, I would say that because the Frankenstein guy is there, that in the next chapter they're going to give us some type of story on him, even if they're not going to be reoccurring characters, because you can't like show a zombie looking guy and not have some type of explanation. That's a very different character look. I thought they were going to keep goofing around more, but at least they got up here to where they needed to be. Augie's toxic. Finally, somebody that's saying what I want to say about everything that's happening. What in the world even is that? I can't even tell like directionally what that is. Oh, it's a cannon or something. Um, this is fine. At least they got to where they needed to be, and they're working together. And shows off their strength, I guess. I can't really say too many good things. Roboto. It's robot laser beam. My hero. I was on TikTok and I was scrolling right, and some dude had just. I saw the first page of this chapter, and then I realized that there were like 14 slides, and then I clicked on his name, and this motherfucker, his whole TikTok account is just him posting leaked chapters. That's his whole TikTok account. The entire thing is just him just posting leaked chapters with no context. He had like 100 followers. What in the fucking world? Like what even in the world are you doing? And I bet you're wondering, how many pages is this? It's looking like it's probably that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Told you. People are fucking weird, bro. Goryuka? What is it? No, sir. Do you want me to play Armored Core and finish the game before Starfield? I have to play the game 3 times to get all the endings. I have to play New Game Plus, and then New Game Plus Plus. I did, however, I fought a boss, and I put on Gatling gun, a bazooka, the stun gun thing that they give you that is mission for a mission, but you get to keep it, and then missiles, and like zoned the boss into a corner, and then just spammed all my abilities on it, and it couldn't do anything, and I killed it in like 2 seconds. It was like you stun lock somebody in Sekiro with throwing those little bombs on the ground. It was cheese. And then I fought a boss that was probably like Millennia Blade of Mikola. That was very hard. Very, very, very hard. And so then I pulled out the big cheese weapon again, and this time I put on all of the tankiest parts I was. Well, thank you, sir. 13 years?
Matesh flushed.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. No, that's strength. I was a tank, and I had 2 Gatling guns, Dude, just go watch the VOD. It's on YouTube. I mean, it's you bought the game. Well, why are you not, sir? Why do you want me to play all these games before? Is it? Do you make me play the game so that way, like, if you ran into a part you couldn't beat, you just go look at my VOD and then you know what to do? Is that what that is? Is that what this is? Why you want me to finish games before you? Why are you doing that to me? Dude, there's no way he survived this. He has no quirk. He just got launched through a building and bounced. And then through another building and landed. And there's no way. Fractured rib, full body contusion, respiratory malfunction. Yeah, he's gonna die right here. This last page is so epic because if you've been watching these reviews for a long time, I've always talked about like the parallel between these four characters and how even though All Might has the same views as Deku, the villains kind of have the same view in a sense. He's not going to be able to accomplish what he wanted to, but there's a chance that Deku can like stop that cycle of hatred as a standard for peace, blah blah blah. So I don't know. I'm a big fan of this. This was a pretty great chapter. Yeah, there's really kind of no story until you get to decisions. And even then, I think you still have to fight some of the same bosses. Like the boss that I fought that was like Millennia, I think is a boss you have to fight regardless. So the goal is for me to have this finished in 2 hours from now. So I'm going to try to answer questions, but also read pretty quickly. So if you're trying to read along with me, it's probably not going to happen. Boruto is in V Jump. That's published every 21st of the month, and so it's a monthly series. So it'll be September the 20th for us when you can read it. It's in the same magazine as Dragon Ball. It's Dragon Ball Super. Well, monthly's not bad. You get to read 40 pages versus, and the person gets a little bit of rest. They can probably finish their 40 pages in 3 weeks, and then they get a week of rest, which they probably use to rough draft the next set of rough draft and outline the next chapter. I like that they're finally focusing on sports a little bit. Again, it's never basketball, but it's badminton, which is fine. I get that he's the main guy. They'll come back with more Boruto anime, but I hope that they wait a long time until there's enough material. They need to do it by seasons. They don't need to have it run full time. The only full time running anime should be One Piece at this point. Hmm. That sounds pretty cool. Like a assassin exhibit. Alright, so we have a goal in mind now. Are they gonna train for a month? Or what? Okay, we're gonna go into him not being able to shoot now. He's suffering some trauma. Did he just get captured? Well, I guess these guys will be showing up at the art exhibit as well. Thought this was good. I'm gonna give it a great. What is this color page? This is that's awful looking. Why? What is he wearing on his arms? And I don't know. I heard most generic face of all time. Whatever. No big deal. I don't know. This is kind of meh for me. So for me, he went and he practiced for months. It wasn't months, it was like 3 weeks. And they had a plan to beat her. Okay? He shows up, and even though he was determined and he knew what he had to do and he had to move down, he gets here and it's like he poops his pants until, oh, don't forget, we got the perfect thing. We can do the thing. Don't you remember, dude? We got the big thing. And then he pulls it out right now at a super impactful and super important moment. That's like ass pull, crap, weak writing. Like weak writing. Glad we're going to a real fight here. Oh, dude. Well, good, right? Yes. They've been hinting that like that those two are a thing, and she was always afraid to say like, "Hey, I've been the cat in the house," or "I've been the shapeshift, and I've helped you here and here." And so for her to finally come out and say it, really big deal. This motherfucker is gonna summon. Well, I'm happy with that. That was a good chapter. Probably a great chapter. Thunder noises? Just tell them to go away. I just don't. Okay, so in this chapter, what they do is they don't explain who wins or how wins. So they just walk off, and it turns out that somehow, since they didn't have anybody captured, they win. Um, which is like that's moving the goalpost, kind of like, oh, we're not going to tell you the condition to win until the end of the time limit. Well, what the fuck? So that's kind of annoying. But as far as battles go, the last like 5, 6 chapters have all been part of this one singular battle. They've all been pretty well done, like thought out. The questions are kind of whatever, but I think they'll always be whatever in this series. It's a Kane, right? Wait, does that mean that she's going to get to go on stage with her dad? Confused. Maybe that was just like a thing at the end about orders. I don't know. When I always read this, it's such a pain to try to remember certain people's names, so I'm trying my best to do names, but sometimes they can be a bit of a pain. He's a god. He's shooting 4 arrows at once. 4 arrows at once. You drinking tea, I say. Good for me. Good for me. Because I'd kind of hated that character, and for him to show off what he can do, why he does what he does, and that cliffhanger at the end about them stepping into his trap, so it's like he's fallen into the trap of the enemy. All good stuff. Dude, beautiful. This is beautiful. Okay, so she starts with these calf kicks, right? To keep her out of position, and she to change her stance, so she can't really effectively grapple. Okay? So they end the round. They come back out. She hits her with another low kick. This time the stance was in the right place. So after two low kicks, she's going to go high. She goes high. And so this person's thinking, okay, as soon as your leg comes up, I'm going to grab it. So what does she do? She goes straight for a Superman punch, punches her right in the fucking face. Opponent gets too fucked up. Clearly, their calf's kind of messed up, but they're going to go straight for the dive. And that's a problem when I put my knee up in your face. Simple, effective, impactful, very good. I don't know about this special move nonsense. Well, she's already like. So they're trying to get to the level of a guy who's at the top of the pros. Like, he's like a UFC champion, okay? So she has to be a professional MMA martial artist. Like, there's nothing. She has to be a pro because she's going to go on this journey with him. So, like, they kind of have to not rush, but move through some of these fights rather quickly because she's a pro. She shouldn't be having trouble with somebody who can only wrestle. This was for her to show that she's strong, but also for him to show that you can't just wrestle and expect to win an MMA match. It does two things. I hope the mangaka turning her into Mary Sue like another series. What do you mean? I think she has flaws. It's just she's being used as a tool to show him, like, hey, there's certain things that you're gonna need. And, like, if you do think about it, somebody who only does wrestling. Well, the whole thing is she is definitely a pro. And she's fighting some like she knows the reason that she worked with him and struggled working with the main character on wrestling and grappling and floor work is because she needs to get good because she knew who she was going to fight. And then somebody who has a well-rounded game versus somebody who's only going to try to tackle you, you should beat the shit out of them if you're a pro. And considering the level that they're going to have to get to, which is like UFC champion level pro, she can't really be struggling here. She could struggle down the line, which I assume that she will, but like here, she did the work, she had a game plan, and she's better, so she shouldn't struggle at all. Wrestling is the best base to learn about. No, it's not. You literally learn nothing about like kicks, strikes, things that help you keep your range from people. Well, you just saw what happened. She tried to take her down. She got a knee straight to the face. Did I not say this last week? Oh, here's what's going to happen. He's going to see them fighting a monster. He's going to run out there and help them and join them. So they did all this essentially for nothing. They could have just saved him and were likely. But I know that he wouldn't have been like on board if they didn't do all this. And nope, Goryuka's wrong, boys. Okay, well, at least this arc's over. Oh. Well, at least they do a cool reveal at the end. I'm gonna say, I kind of like this chapter, although it's got some Scooby comedy. There's a lot of reveals going on. Yeah, there was no way that this was going to be able to last. I'm glad that it's a. Uh-oh, the mom knows. This feels like it's that's the first chapter I've read that I feel like this could be axed pretty soon. I'm gonna give it an okay because it rushed a ton of stuff, like a ton of stuff. It's a good chapter if it was 2 chapters and we explore more about her mom and there's more learning there, but it was just like, oh, I wish I was an actor. I've done all of this for you. And we get none of her feelings. We just see a mom and a backstory explaining something. And her feelings kind of show up here when she finally goes up and says goodbye, mother, and it's raining because she understands the character. She understands herself a little bit better. So, you know, if this was properly paced, it's a great chapter. For now, I'm going to give it a good, and that's just kind of how it goes. There's no way it's just average. Because with the amount of stuff that it did, it's still good. It's just rushed. Extremely rushed. Yeah, it was pretty fast. Like, it accomplishes everything that it needs to accomplish, but it's rushed. So, like, if that was 2 chapters, it would be both of them would have been great. Like, I can imagine her getting out of the car and it pouring raining, and we have to see panels of her running because she's like escaping, and then like as you see her running, there's a page about the mom, you could have restructured the pages a little bit different, and like as she's running to go shoot this scene and escape, you see flashbacks and flashbacks, and she gets up there and she's like, I'm ready, I understand. And you see her go through the shoot, and she says her lines, and she like lets out a sigh, and then thinks about one happy thing her mom had said to her, and then it's goodbye mom, done, cut. And that would have been good. And but you know, it's just it they're trying to get somewhere. They're trying to what I think that they're trying to do to save the series here is they're going to go to this director and they want it to be made into a movie. So he's going to look at it and they're going to try to make it into a movie. If they make it into a movie and the readership can stay aboard that, if they can start one more arc, that gives them one more chance. So they're probably trying to wrap this up so it becomes a movie and then they can move forward. So then you can find out more about the ghost, more about her because she'll be in his movies, and maybe those two characters will have significant growth in some form or fashion along the way. You'll find out about the ghost too. So damn, this is kind of fucked up here. This guy runs away, right? After he creates these weapons that can destroy people. He pretends he doesn't have his memories. She gives him some apples because he had made a toy, right? And he stays locked in his house. He never leaves. And when he was on his last apple, she came with some, but fewer than before. So he gave the toy to someone else. And she came the next week with more apples. But it turns out when he walked outside and looked around during the war, island fields had burned and they had a food shortage, and the sole apple orchard is supporting the entire village. It's kind of sad. And she went and told them he needs a share. So he had built all these toys thinking that they were in exchange for food, because he couldn't do anything else because he had to pretend he had amnesia. In reality, these toys are fucking worthless, and it's just about those apples. Nobody survived. And the explosive used for this air raid was one of the last ones I had developed. So I took the islanders' corpses. I stitched together only the best pieces of them I could find. And in order to ensure they would never die the same way again, I set out to create The Ideal Human. That's a fucking great chapter. That's a great emotional chapter. If only I knew it 30 chapters ago. I don't know what the world holds for this, but that was the best chapter this week, easily. Easily, it's not even close. And what sucks is that near the end of some of these series, this is what happens. You'll get chapters like this. Like, somebody disagreed with me about Do Retry, and they said that, well, actually, the last chapter was really great because, you know, he's a man who's lost everything and blah, 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 blah. And that's fine. But, like, this just was everything I needed from the series. And if it ended next week, I wouldn't say anything different. Final fight. Okay, boys, final fight. So they got to give us a backstory on the dad about how he was when he was a kid and what the fuck is this, dude? He parted the fucking seas? What? Okay, dude. Why does he go, I see boxing, huh? He literally was told yesterday it's going to be a boxing match. What is this? Also, arms aren't shaped like this. What is the front of his... That doesn't look right. This one looks okay. On the right, on the left here, that looks really awful. It looks like he has a balloon tumor on his arm. Looks right to you? No, it doesn't. He has his arm flat, okay? So your muscle's not going to bulge out down past your fucking elbow at a down position. If you had your arm slightly up and back, then yeah, it'll look like that. Not from a fucking flat down position. Look from the side. It looks fine here. Although they could definitely get some work on how to draw shoulder blades. The shoulders don't look very good. Anyway, that's me critiquing the shit out of this. I gotta be nice, okay? I was expecting something cool. The backstory is nice, but it's not like what I just got in Fabricant 100. Nowhere near it. And then, come here, my man says, I'm a part of the ocean. Oh, wait, we're doing boxing? Yeah, bitch. Right over here, we said, you're still a boxer, right? So let's do some boxing on a final playing field. It'll be level. How did he forget? It's the next day. The next day. The next day. You see it right there, dude. Oh, we're doing boxing? I see. The power to break spirits. The power to break spirits, guys. He's got the power to break spirits, guys. Also, suddenly, with a boxing glove, he can has the ability to figure out the core of any item's construction and force it to collapse. Because he has the strike of someone who knows the most brittle part of a physical object. My man's the show's garbage. Like, what in the fuck, dude? I just don't understand. Like, I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. Okay? So, what was the purpose of showing that backstory? That he's a kind guy and willing to stand up for people? Well, we knew that because in the first chapter you find out about him boxing, and the reason that the son wants to become a boxer is because he looked up to his dad, who, no matter what, always moved forward and was doing something to protect, those around him. It wasn't like he was beating up people in the ring to be an asshole. Also, he didn't have some super special magical power at the beginning either, but evidently he does now. The fact that he splits the ocean for no reason. I guess he knew the ocean's weak point and gave it a little punch and it disintegrated. Like, there's no way, dude. It just doesn't, it does not compute. Fucking stupid. Like, I don't get it. And the only reason I'm being like this is because last week somebody told me, well, he's very scarred because, he was in one of the worst battles in Japanese history and he didn't even know his family was alive. Wasn't the dad's whole thing about, hey guys, we need to continue to work together and we can push forward and we can do this if we're together. We just have to keep moving forward. And then the people that were under him ended up committing suicide and couldn't handle it. That's not his fault. He encouraged them, and they couldn't handle it. And so they took an easy way out. That's not his fault. Secondly, they thought that he was the one that killed all of them. And it's been portrayed two different ways in the series. And I'm more inclined to believe he didn't do it. They did it to themselves. And so then he goes on an island and sits there and does nothing. Why not go try to fucking find your family? Or your sister? If you cared about her that much that they showed in the backstory that was total garbage, then at least you could have tried to find your sister. And let's not even talk about the main character's sister being in the hospital and suddenly she has the disease called, I need to see my family together or I'm going to die. Didn't know that was a disease, but she got it. The last like 4 chapters have been garbage. And you say that they're not, I don't know, I just can't agree with that. You're more than welcome to have a different opinion. But this chapter just solidified everything that I think that I knew about the series. What sucks, okay, is this person had a series, okay? It's called Bone Collection. It's called Big Boner Collection, okay? You go out and you get bones and you collect them. And what you do is when you get the Boner Collection, you can use it as a weapon. So it was 16 fucking chapters, okay? Part of the U19 group of special authors who fucking can't even get 20 chapters out, okay? Can't even get 20 chapters. And now this motherfucker's over here, and this is going to end at 18 chapters. There's no way. Sorry, buddy. You didn't make it. You failed. You didn't make the list for worst once. You made it twice. Congratulations. If I was you, the art looks a little bit better. Not much. I'd probably start practicing on that. And for a story, I don't know, have somebody else write it for you because it looks like you don't know what you're doing. Or go to a different magazine, please. I feel bad for you having to be here in the dog shit collection twice. I mean, P6 had issues, but people didn't want to talk about its issues, and it kind of managed to carry its way for a little while. And P6, the art was bad. Bad. And people said, well, it works because it's music, and it can be different artistic style. And I said, okay, yeah, that's fine. And then every single piece of plane was relatively unique. And, but once they got to the tournament, that was the worst tournament arc I have ever seen in Weekly Shonen Jump. Ever. Like the worst tournament arc ever. It did nothing. The only character it did something for was the girl character. The 2 girls in the series, they came out better. All of the guys, it did absolute fucking nothing for them. The tournament didn't matter. None of the results mattered. One of the guys was like, well, looks like you beat me, so I'm just going to head out. Like, what? I don't know if they even gave a final score for the one that the main character did. Like, that's how bad it was. Anyway, don't want to rant about that too long. I got to leave here by 1:30, so I'll try to wrap everything up. I know that I've only got like this left, but in case there's questions here at the end that I need to answer. Have a little QA at the end. I like this character design. I like his helmet. Well, dude, I think that person can succeed in another magazine. Bone Collection had a good story structure, but it was a slow burn series. So like if you read Weekly Shonen Sunday, where like Mao and Komi are, um, you can take your time. They're not going to axe you that fast. They're looking for series that have a good premise and can get you involved, but stuff isn't going to happen for a while. And then people will go back and then they'll buy volumes. They're not going to just cancel you straight up. I thought it started at 12. I can't. Well, it's on YouTube. I can check. It's on YouTube. I can check. Yeah, see? See, there's a match here. Let me see who won. They won, so they're tag title champions. And then there's a match here that's going on. That Hook one. So the real pay-per-view starts at 1. The problem is that I can't watch it. I actually have to go to I got to drive like an hour and a half to a lake club where that's where I golf at. And for like the past, I want to say 9 years, maybe 9-10 years, we do a fantasy draft in person. We eat, we take like a break and we eat during it. And because at the clubhouse they have stuff that, you know, people can, they can make burgers and stuff and drinks and all that. And so it usually ends up taking a real long time, so I probably won't be able to watch it on Discord until I get home at like 9 o'clock tonight. One of my buddies is at Wembley right now, though, so that's cool. Yeah, it was basically who's gonna do better for. They was what's crazy about Jump is Asumi started, and they said, well, let's see how Asumi goes for 4 chapters. And it looked like it was doing really well from like online reception. And so then they basically said, well, we're not going to do 2 boxing mixed martial arts, wrap it up. Which is crazy because like Weekly Shonen magazine has like 10 rom-coms in it out of 26 series. So like, I don't know. Anyway, let me finish this. I know it seems like it's trying to go a few places, but at least they're at the capital and we're trying to get some things going. By the way, being ninth, this was okay. No, it wasn't. I'm not gonna lie to myself. It was fucking boring. Being at the bottom with your ninth chapter is a really fucking bad sign. I see. It depends how many series that they're gonna bring in, right? This looks like it has 2 to 3 chapters left max. Like there's not much more here left to do. At all. This looks like it says final fight, so there can't be very much left of this at all. This looks like it could keep going, but it's at the bottom of the table of contents. So these two are for sure gone. And then it basically comes down to, do they let cinema continue? Or wait for Icehead Guild Volume 1 sales and then pick which one's worse and axe that. Now, if they're going to start 4 new series, then these 4 right here are donezo. I mean, I wish Cypher Academy was fucked, but those goofball Bakemonogatari fans are going out and they're buying it. So what can you do? And News Exorcist seems like it's doing well. I don't know how. I have no fucking clue. I really wish it wasn't. But because Cypher and New are selling, Tenmaku's not, it's more likely that Tenmaku's gone as one of those down there near the bottom. Let me make sure that I have everything here. We have Kill Blue, Yoza, My Hero, Blue Box, Sakamoto, News Exorcist, Witch Watch, JJK, Cypher, Kane, Elusive Samurai, MMA, Undead Unluck, Robico, Ichi Noise Fam, Tenmaku Cinema, Fabricant 100, Do Retry, I Said Go. I believe that's everything. Here's the cover. And here's the preview page for next week. One Piece is back, color with the cover, lead color page, then Akane Banashi, Yozakura Family, and MMA color pages. Which, that's good for me. I'm a big fan of that. You say the ghost, wish the ghost didn't exist. He really doesn't do very much in the plot, so I don't really see, like... But they have made the characters at least, like, more real, like, emotional in the last few chapters. So that's what I'm saying. I think what they're going to do is look at the volumes of this and try to give this just a few more chapters. That's why I said I felt like they rushed this one. Because whatever they're trying to do with this director, is probably what they're going to try to do to save the series over whatever gets axed next. There's one more thing I have to do before we can do this. Gotta go here, choice 2, and put good. I always leave one of these blank because I never want to hit post all on accident when I'm making it, so yeah. Today is the 27th. This is issue 39. Boom. I will also be uploading this as a VOD on YouTube. My YouTube is the same as you can probably just search my name and it'll come up. What you'll see is a variety of videos. My entire playthrough of Tears of the Kingdom, Horizon Zero Dawn, Ateria Ryza. You'll see some Weekly Shonen Jump reviews, Hogwarts, One Piece, High on Life, Witcher 3, Persona. So I plan to keep adding more and more, and this is Armored Core 6 if you wanted to check it out. There's my Manga Plus tier list, 47-minute video. If anybody has tier lists that they want me to do, you can send them to me on Discord. And if you think that they're going to take a while like this, then I'm perfectly happy to do one. Because it got like 44 views, so I'm down with that. Don't forget to follow on Twitch, follow on Twitter, follow on YouTube as well. I appreciate it, and thanks for watching.